How do you recognize if you are a chosen vessel of God? The Bible provides some insight in Matthew 22:14, stating that many are called, but few are chosen. So, how can you discern if you are among the chosen few? If this question intrigues you, stay with me throughout this discussion as I unveil 9 signs that indicate you are chosen by God. Understanding and embracing this identity is one of the most profound experiences one can have. Being chosen signifies that you are God's representative on earth, entrusted with a mission that, while it might seem minor to you, carries immense generational and eternal significance in the spiritual realm. Imagine the immense honor and responsibility of being selected by God, the creator of the universe, to fulfill a specific purpose. Maybe you've noticed some signs and are unsure about their meaning. This discussion, guided by spiritual insights, aims to provide you with clarity. But before we delve into these signs, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. So, what are the signs that indicate you are a chosen vessel? Number 1. Life often presents us with major hardships, but these difficulties are not without purpose. According to Mike Murdock in his book, The Assignment, whatever causes you to cry or feel deep sorrow is a clue to what God wants you to address. Each struggle you face holds a hint, a divine message about the task God has set for you. What brings you to tears? What causes you pain or makes you feel rejected? These emotional responses are not random. They are signals pointing toward a secret that God wants to reveal to you. It's important to recognize that most of the opposition and challenges you encounter are designed to strengthen and prepare you for greater things ahead. You might feel like the world is against you, that nothing is going according to plan. However, every problem you face happens for a reason. Facing significant hardships is often a sign that you have a significant calling on your life. The Bible offers comforting and encouraging words on this subject. In 2 Corinthians 4:17 it says, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." This verse reminds us that our current sufferings are temporary and are preparing us for an eternal glory that surpasses all our struggles. It underscores the idea that God has a magnificent future planned for you, and the tough times are meant to build your strength and expand your capacity. God's calling on your life might not be just for your benefit, but for the benefit of others as well. His plans often extend beyond our personal sphere to touch many lives. A profound example of this is the story of Joseph. God allowed Joseph to endure numerous adversities, not for Joseph's sake alone, but to save an entire nation in the future. Joseph's journey from being hated by his brothers and sold into slavery to being imprisoned and finally becoming the prime minister of Egypt illustrates how intense challenges can lead to a glorious destiny. Joseph's experiences were incredibly painful, yet they were integral to fulfilling God's plan. His hardships prepared him to become a leader who would save many from famine. Similarly, your challenges are molding you for a purpose that is beyond your current understanding. The more severe your difficulties, the more magnificent your future will be. God's calling on your life, like Joseph's, might be attracting adversities, but these adversities are crucial for your growth and the fulfillment of your destiny. When you are chosen for a special purpose, expect to face significant trials. These trials are not indicators of failure, but rather stepping stones to your ultimate success. They are meant to test your faith, build your character, and prepare you for the role God has designed for you. It's in these moments of hardship that God is working to shape you into the person you need to be to accomplish His plans. In the midst of your trials, it's essential to maintain your faith and keep your focus on God's promises. He has assured us that our troubles are temporary and are preparing us for an eternal glory. As you navigate through your hardships, remember that you are not alone. God is with you, guiding you, and equipping you with the strength and wisdom needed to overcome. Take a moment to reflect on your life. What are the things that deeply trouble you? What challenges seem insurmountable? These are the areas where God is calling you to make a difference. By looking inward and seeking God's guidance, you can discover the specific assignment He has for you. Your hardships are not in vain. They are part of a divine strategy to prepare you for your unique calling. Embrace them with the understanding that they are shaping you for greatness. Just as Joseph's journey was filled with pain and suffering, but ultimately led to an extraordinary purpose, your journey, too, is leading you toward a destiny that will glorify God and benefit others. So, if you find yourself in the midst of adversity, do not lose heart. Remember that you are on the path to fulfilling your God-given destiny. Each trial is a testament to the significant purpose that lies ahead. Trust in God's plan and continue to move forward with faith and determination, knowing that your present sufferings are crafting a future filled with eternal glory and profound impact. Number 2. Do you ever wonder why some people seem to dislike you without any apparent reason? It can be disheartening when no matter what you do, nothing seems to please them. They don't appreciate your efforts to be kind, and even when you ignore their negative behavior, they still treat you with indifference or hostility. You might feel like they never care about your good ideas and are quick to dismiss you. Stay calm. All of this could be happening because you are a chosen one. One of the clear signs of having a divine calling is when people disdain you and try to silence you. Don't let this intimidate or discourage you. Their opposition is often a reflection of the greatness they see in you, a greatness they wish they possessed. There is something extraordinary and unique about you that sparks envy rather than celebration in their hearts. Instead of being troubled by their attitudes, keep your focus on what God has planned for you. Your primary concern should not be the opinions of others, but discovering and fulfilling God's purpose for your life. What people think of you doesn't matter as long as God is with you. With God on your side, you are never alone and can be confident in His constant presence and support. Jesus reassured His disciples in John 15:19, saying, "If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you." This verse underscores that being chosen by God can often result in being misunderstood or disliked by those who do not understand or share your divine purpose. When people around you conspire against you without any justifiable cause, it is often a strong indication that you are specially chosen by God. There is a divine mandate on your life, a calling that sets you apart. This unique calling can trigger resistance from those who don't understand or accept it. In the Bible, we see numerous examples of individuals chosen by God facing undue hatred and opposition. Joseph, for instance, was hated by his brothers because of his dreams and the favor he found in their father's eyes. His brothers' jealousy led them to sell him into slavery, but this very act set the stage for Joseph to rise to a position of great authority in Egypt, ultimately saving many lives during a severe famine. Similarly, David faced unwarranted hatred from King Saul, who saw David's potential and favor with God as a threat to his throne. Despite Saul's attempts to kill him, David remained faithful to God and was eventually crowned King of Israel, fulfilling his divine destiny. These stories remind us that being chosen often comes with challenges and opposition. However, it also comes with God's promise of victory and purpose. If you find yourself facing unjustified hatred, take it as a sign of your divine calling. Instead of being discouraged, let it strengthen your resolve to pursue God's plan for your life. To navigate this journey, keep your gaze fixed on God's promises and seek His guidance continually. Pray for wisdom and strength to handle the opposition you face. Surround yourself with a supportive community of believers who can encourage and uplift you. Remember that your worth and purpose are defined by God, not by the opinions of those who oppose you. As you continue to walk in your calling, let your life be a testament to God's faithfulness. The opposition you face is not a reflection of your inadequacies, but a confirmation of your divine assignment. Embrace your calling with confidence, knowing that God has equipped you for every challenge. In conclusion, if people hate you without reason, it is often because of the greatness God has placed within you. Their envy and opposition are signs that you are on the right path, fulfilling a divine purpose. Stay focused on God's plan for your life, and don't be deterred by the negativity of others. With God on your side, you can overcome any obstacle and achieve the destiny He has set for you. Number 3. Are you someone who loves to give cheerfully and unconditionally? Do you find joy in meeting the needs of others without expecting anything in return? If so, it could be a significant sign that you have been chosen for a special purpose by God. Your generosity, whether it's with your time, resources, or talents, sets you apart and indicates a greater calling on your life. Giving is not always easy, especially when it requires sacrificing your own comfort or needs. Yet, you consistently demonstrate a selfless attitude towards helping others. This willingness to give, even in challenging circumstances, is a testament to the calling that God has placed upon you. It reflects the heart of someone who has been selected for something greater, an attribute that God can use powerfully to impact lives. Consider the story of the boy from the Bible who offered his 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread to Jesus. In the Gospel accounts, this young boy's simple act of generosity played a crucial role in a miraculous event. When faced with a large crowd of hungry people, Jesus used the boy's meager offering to feed thousands. If the boy had not been willing to give what little he had, the outcome could have been vastly different. His cheerful giving, prompted by faith and generosity, aligned perfectly with God's plan to demonstrate His power and provision. Similarly, your desire to contribute to the welfare of others is a clear sign that you are chosen by God. Whether you support a struggling ministry financially, assist those in need, or volunteer your time for a cause, your actions reflect a deeper calling to make a difference. This calling is not merely about fulfilling personal ambitions, but about being a vessel through which God's love and compassion can flow to others. If you find fulfillment in giving and helping others, embrace this aspect of your identity. It is a confirmation that God has entrusted you with a special ministry. Your willingness to be used by God in this way opens doors for His blessings to flow into your life and into the lives of those you touch. Moreover, do you sense an inner knowing that you are made for more? Perhaps you have a strong intuition that there is a specific purpose for your life, beyond the ordinary. This deep-seated conviction may manifest as positive feelings about yourself, a sense of destiny, or a persistent urge to step out of your comfort zone and pursue greater things. In the Bible, we see examples of individuals who had this profound sense of calling from a young age. Jesus himself, at the age of 12, knew that he was meant for a greater purpose than carpentry. When his parents found him teaching in the temple in Jerusalem, he explained to them, "Didn't you know I had to be in my Father's house?" Luke 2:49. This incident illustrates Jesus' awareness of his divine calling even from a young age. If you resonate with this feeling of being set apart for greater works, it signifies that God has a specific plan and purpose for your life. Embrace this understanding and allow it to guide your decisions and actions. Follow the divine instincts and promptings that lead you towards fulfilling your God-given dreams. It's natural to feel uncomfortable with a life that seems ordinary when you are called to something extraordinary. Like an eagle ready to soar, you are meant to rise above the mundane and pursue the heights of God's purpose for you. This longing for more in life is not a mere whim, but a reflection of the divine potential that God has placed within you. When Jesus spoke to his disciples in John 15:16, he assured them, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit, fruit that will last." This statement underscores the fact that being chosen by God comes with a mandate to bear lasting fruit in His kingdom. It involves stepping into the roles and responsibilities that God has ordained for you, whether it involves ministry, leadership, compassion, or service. Therefore, if you feel drawn towards a purpose that surpasses the ordinary, embrace it with courage and faith. Trust that God's hand is upon you, guiding you towards fulfilling His divine plan. Your sense of calling is not to be ignored or underestimated, but to be nurtured and pursued with determination. As you continue on this journey of discovery and fulfillment, remember that your identity and worth are rooted in God's love for you. You are chosen not because of your own merit, but because of God's sovereign choice and purpose for your life. Allow His love and guidance to lead you forward, confident that He will equip you for every task He sets before you. In conclusion, if you find joy in giving, sense an inner knowing of being made for more, and feel compelled to pursue a purpose greater than yourself, take heart. These are all signs that you are a chosen vessel of God. Embrace your calling with humility and obedience, knowing that God has chosen you to make a significant impact in His kingdom. Walk boldly in the path He has laid out for you, trusting in His provision and guidance every step of the way. Number 5. The Bible teaches us that each of us is fearfully and wonderfully made by God. Psalm 139:14. This means that our uniqueness and individuality are not accidents, but intentional creations of God Himself. Yet, not everyone fully embraces this truth and lives authentically. If you find that you genuinely love being yourself and cannot stand the idea of pretending to be someone you are not, it may indicate that you have been chosen for a special purpose by God. Living authentically goes beyond simply accepting who you are. It encompasses a deep aversion to falsehood and pretense in all its forms. You have a strong dislike for people who imitate others or act insincerely. This inclination towards sincerity and truthfulness is a significant clue that there is a divine calling upon your life. When you embrace authenticity, you recognize and celebrate your unique qualities and personality traits. You refuse to conform to societal pressures or expectations that would compromise your true self. This commitment to being genuine sets you apart from others and empowers you to become the best version of yourself. Just as Peter could never be John and vice versa, you understand that each person is uniquely designed by God with distinct purposes and roles to fulfill. Authenticity is not only about self-acceptance, but also about aligning yourself with God's plan for your life. God desires to use real people, those who are true to themselves and true to Him. In the Bible, we see how God chose individuals who were authentic in their faith and character to accomplish His purposes. David, for example, was chosen as king of Israel, not because of his outward appearance, but because of his genuine heart for God. 1 Samuel 16:7. If you resonate with the joy of being yourself and the deep-seated desire for sincerity in all aspects of life, it reflects a spiritual calling. God wants to use your authenticity as a vessel through which His love, truth, and purpose can shine brightly in the world. Your commitment to living authentically is a testament to your readiness to fulfill God's unique plan for your life. Consider the example of Jesus Christ Himself, who epitomized authenticity during His earthly ministry. He boldly proclaimed the truth, confronted hypocrisy, and lived out His identity as the Son of God without compromise. Jesus warned against hypocrisy and emphasized the importance of integrity in one's faith and actions. Matthew 23:25-28. As you continue to embrace your authentic self, remember that God sees and values your genuine heart. He has chosen you to make a difference in the world, not by conforming to societal norms or expectations, but by faithfully living out His truth and love in your unique way. Authenticity also brings a sense of freedom and peace. When you are true to yourself, you experience a deep alignment with God's purposes and a confidence that He will use you exactly as you are. This confidence is rooted in the assurance that God's power is made perfect in our weaknesses. 2 Corinthians 12:9. In a world that often encourages conformity and superficiality, your commitment to authenticity is a powerful testimony of God's transforming work in your life. It reflects his desire to use ordinary people with genuine hearts to accomplish extraordinary purposes. Like the Apostle Paul, who embraced his weaknesses and imperfections as opportunities for God's strength to be revealed, 2 Corinthians 12:10. You can embrace your authenticity as a platform for God's glory. If you find joy in being yourself and feel a deep calling to live sincerely and truthfully, embrace it wholeheartedly. Your authenticity is a reflection of God's handiwork in your life and a testament to his faithfulness. Allow him to continue shaping you into the person he has called you to be, knowing that your uniqueness is a gift from God for his divine purposes. In conclusion, loving and embracing your authentic self is not just a personal preference, it is a divine calling. It signifies that you have been chosen by God to live and serve him in a way that reflects his truth and love to the world. As you continue on this journey of authenticity, may you find strength, joy, and fulfillment in knowing that you are fearfully and wonderfully made for his glory. Number 6. If you often find yourself as the black sheep, moving in a direction opposite to others around you, it could be a strong indication that you have been chosen for a special purpose by God. This term, black sheep, often carries a negative connotation in society, suggesting someone who stands out or is different from the rest of the group. However, in the context of God's calling, being the black sheep signifies a unique calling and purpose that sets you apart from the crowd. You may notice significant differences between yourself and others, whether it's in perspective, orientation, mindset, opinions, ideas, or ways of doing things. These distinctions may make you feel like you don't quite fit in with the majority. While others may follow conventional paths or popular opinions, you often find yourself drawn to alternative approaches or perspectives. This sense of not belonging to the crowd can be challenging at times, but it also points to a deeper truth. You are made for more. God often chooses individuals who are willing to forge their own paths, even if it means going against the grain of societal norms or expectations. This willingness to chart your own course, rather than simply following others, demonstrates a readiness to fulfill a greater calling. It shows that you are willing to listen to God's voice and obey his leading, even when it diverges from the paths others may take. Consider the example of Noah in the Bible. When God instructed Noah to build an ark to prepare for a flood, Noah faced ridicule and disbelief from those around him. His obedience to God's command required him to go against the prevailing opinions and actions of his time. Yet Noah remained steadfast in following God's direction, and his faithfulness ultimately saved his family and preserved life on earth. Similarly, if you feel compelled to pursue a path that is contrary to what others are doing or advocating, it may be a sign of your authenticity and God's calling upon your life. Your willingness to stand firm in your beliefs and convictions, even when they are unpopular, reflects a deeper commitment to God's purpose for you. Jesus himself often stood apart from the religious leaders and societal norms of his time. He challenged hypocrisy, embraced the marginalized, and prioritized God's kingdom above all else. His life and teachings serve as a profound example of what it means to follow God's calling, even when it requires going against the status quo. If you resonate with the feeling of being different or diverging from the crowd, embrace it as a sign of your unique calling. God has a purpose for your life that may require you to step outside of comfort zones and familiar paths. Your willingness to be the black sheep, following God's direction instead of the crowd, positions you to make a significant impact for his kingdom. Furthermore, your authenticity in embracing your unique perspective and choices reflects God's creativity and intentionality in designing you for his purposes. Just as each part of the body has a unique function, 1 Corinthians 12:27, your distinctiveness contributes to the diversity and richness of God's kingdom work. God uses individuals with different backgrounds, talents, and perspectives to accomplish his purposes in ways that transcend human understanding. If you find yourself drawn to unconventional or unpopular paths, remember that God's ways are higher than our ways. Isaiah 55:8-9. His plans for you are designed to bring about His kingdom purposes and glorify His name. Trust in His guidance and leading, even when it requires stepping into unfamiliar territory or facing opposition from others. In conclusion, being the black sheep can be a powerful indicator of God's calling upon your life. Embrace your uniqueness and willingness to stand apart from the crowd as evidence of your readiness to fulfill God's purpose. Trust in His sovereignty and direction, knowing that He has chosen you for a specific role in His kingdom work. Your obedience and authenticity in following God's path, even when it diverges from popular opinion, demonstrate your commitment to His calling and your desire to impact the world for His glory. Number 7. When you find yourself yearning for more than the status quo, it's a compelling indication that you may have a special calling on your life. This deep desire for change and growth signifies that you are not content with settling for the ordinary, but instead are driven towards uncovering deeper truths and mysteries in life. You might feel a passionate longing to explore and experience more of what life has to offer. This could manifest as a thirst for higher knowledge, a curiosity to understand profound insights, or a willingness to embrace new experiences and challenges. Your heart cries out for something beyond the surface, to delve into the depths of wisdom and understanding that enrich your life and purpose. In the Bible, Jesus taught in Matthew 5:6, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." This scripture highlights the divine promise that those who earnestly seek righteousness and truth will find fulfillment. Your yearning for more is not mere restlessness, but a divine prompting to seek after God's purposes and deeper spiritual truths. God often chooses individuals who hunger for spiritual growth and knowledge. This hunger sets them apart and prepares them for greater works in His kingdom. Just as a parched land thirsts for rain, your soul thirsts for spiritual nourishment and understanding that only God can provide. If you resonate with this deep longing for more, embrace it as a sign of God's calling on your life. Your willingness to pursue new knowledge, insights, and experiences positions you to be used by God in significant ways. Like a sponge that eagerly soaks up water, you eagerly absorb the lessons and teachings that God places before you. Consider the example of the Apostle Paul, whose thirst for spiritual truth and understanding led him on a transformative journey. Before his conversion, Paul zealously pursued knowledge and righteousness according to his own understanding. However, upon encountering Christ, Paul's thirst shifted towards seeking God's truth and righteousness with a renewed fervor. Philippians 3:8-10. Similarly, your hunger for more than what the world offers is a testament to your readiness to receive God's blessings and guidance. As you open yourself to learning and growth, God reveals new dimensions of His love and purpose for your life. Your pursuit of deeper knowledge and understanding enriches your faith journey and equips you for the tasks that God has prepared for you. Furthermore, your desire to go beyond the ordinary signifies a willingness to embrace God's transformative work in your life. Just as gold is refined through fire, your hunger for spiritual growth allows God to mold and shape your character according to His divine plan. Through challenges, trials, and new experiences, God strengthens your faith and prepares you for greater responsibilities in His kingdom. As you continue to thirst for more, remember that God promises to satisfy those who seek Him wholeheartedly. Jeremiah 29:13. Your pursuit of spiritual growth and understanding is a partnership with God, as He guides you towards His perfect will and purpose for your life. In conclusion, if you find yourself yearning for more than what the world offers, whether it's knowledge, wisdom, or spiritual growth, embrace it as a divine calling. Your thirst for deeper truths and experiences is a reflection of God's invitation to draw closer to Him. Trust in His guidance and provision as you continue on this journey of discovery and fulfillment. By seeking after righteousness and embracing God's teachings, you position yourself to be filled with His abundant blessings and equipped for His kingdom purposes. Number 8. Life is a journey filled with both joys and challenges. It's like a tapestry woven with moments of sweetness and moments of struggle, where roses bloom alongside thorns. When you encounter difficulties and endure through them, you gain invaluable experiences that can serve as a guiding light for others. Facing adversity and persevering through hardships equips you with a depth of understanding and empathy that few possess. Your ability to navigate life's obstacles with resilience and grace positions you as a beacon of hope and strength for those who may be walking through similar trials. The Bible often portrays life as a series of tests and trials, where God refines and molds His chosen ones through difficult circumstances. James 1:12 encourages us, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love Him." This scripture reminds us that enduring trials not only strengthens our faith, but also prepares us to support and uplift others who face similar challenges. If you have overcome significant challenges in your life and emerged stronger and wiser, you have a unique opportunity to illuminate the path for others. Your experiences are not merely personal struggles, but testimonies of God's faithfulness and grace in the midst of adversity. Through your journey, God has equipped you to offer guidance, encouragement, and practical wisdom to those who are navigating their own difficult seasons. Consider the example of Joseph in the Old Testament. Despite being betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and unjustly imprisoned, Joseph remained steadfast in his faith and integrity. Eventually, God elevated Joseph to a position of authority in Egypt, where he was able to save countless lives during a severe famine. Joseph's trials equipped him to provide for others and fulfill God's purpose of preserving His people. Genesis 50:20. Similarly, your journey through adversity has prepared you to be a beacon for others in their times of need. Your ability to offer empathy, wisdom, and practical support stems from the first-hand experiences that have shaped your character and faith. As you reflect on your own challenges, you can offer reassurance to others that they too can overcome obstacles with God's strength and guidance. Moreover, your role as a beacon for others extends beyond offering mere sympathy or advice. It involves embodying God's love and compassion in tangible ways that inspire hope and resilience. Romans 15:1 reminds us, "We who are strong ought to bear with the failings of the weak and not to please ourselves." This verse encourages us to use our strengths and experiences to support and uplift those who are struggling. If you find yourself in a position where others look to you for guidance or support during difficult times, recognize it as a testament to God's faithfulness in equipping you for such a role. Your journey through adversity has not been in vain, but has prepared you to fulfill a greater purpose in God's kingdom. By sharing your story and offering encouragement based on your own experiences, you demonstrate God's transformative power in your life. In conclusion, being a beacon for others means embracing the challenges you have faced as opportunities to inspire and uplift those around you. Your resilience in overcoming difficulties serves as a powerful testimony of God's faithfulness and provision. As you continue to walk in faith and share your journey with others, may you shine brightly as a beacon of hope, strength, and compassion in a world that desperately needs God's light. Trust in God's guidance and presence as you fulfill your calling to be a source of encouragement and support for others on their own journeys of faith and perseverance. Number 9. If you acknowledge and believe in a higher power, sensing a divine calling to be a light amidst darkness for others, then you have been chosen for a purpose greater than yourself. This calling is not just a random occurrence, but a deliberate selection by God Himself. It's a recognition that you possess the qualities and gifts needed to fulfill a significant destiny ordained by the Creator. In the Bible, we are reminded in Jeremiah 1:5, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. This verse illustrates God's intentional selection and assignment of individuals for specific tasks and missions. Similarly, if you feel compelled to be a beacon of hope and encouragement to those around you, it's because God has entrusted you with this role. Understanding that you are chosen by God entails more than just a passive acknowledgement. It requires action and purposeful living. You are not alone in this journey. The omnipotent power of God stands as your support and strength. As you embark on fulfilling God's call for your life, you are called to rise above the ordinary and shine brightly in the world He has placed you in. Discovering that you have been chosen involves recognizing your unique role in God's grand plan. It's about stepping forward with faith and embracing the responsibilities that come with being a vessel of His love and light. Your selection is not based on your own merits or qualifications, but on God's sovereign will and His vision for your life. Embracing this divine calling requires humility and trust in God's guidance. Philippians 2:13 assures us, "For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill His good purpose." This verse emphasizes that God equips and empowers those He chooses to carry out His plans effectively. Therefore, lean on His wisdom and strength as you navigate the path laid out before you. Furthermore, being chosen is not merely a passive state, but an active participation in God's mission. It involves utilizing the gifts, talents, and resources bestowed upon you to impact the lives of others positively. Whether through acts of kindness, words of encouragement, or steadfast faith in challenging times, your life becomes a testament to God's transformative power and grace. Consider the example of Moses, who initially doubted his ability to fulfill God's call to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Despite his insecurities, God assured Moses of His presence and provision every step of the way. Exodus 3:12. Similarly, God's calling on your life may seem daunting at times, but His promises and faithfulness remain steadfast. As you embrace your role as a chosen vessel, commit yourself to serving others selflessly. Galatians 5:13 encourages us, "Serve one another humbly in love." This verse underscores the importance of humility and love in fulfilling God's purpose for our lives. By prioritizing the needs of others and demonstrating Christ-like compassion, you embody the essence of being a chosen instrument of God. Prayer becomes an essential aspect of your journey as a chosen one. It is through prayer that you align your will with God's divine purpose and seek His guidance in every decision. Psalm 37:5 advises, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will do this." By entrusting your life and endeavors to God's care, you invite His transformative presence to work mightily through you. In conclusion, recognizing that you are chosen by God is a profound revelation that shapes your identity and purpose. It's a call to live authentically, guided by faith and empowered by His Spirit. As you navigate through life's challenges and victories, remember that God's plan for you is intricately woven with opportunities to glorify Him and bless others. May you continue to walk boldly in the knowledge that you are a chosen vessel, equipped and empowered by God Himself. Let your life be a testimony of His love, grace, and transformative power. By embracing your calling with faith and humility, you fulfill God's purpose and leave a lasting impact on those around you. Trust in His promises, lean on His strength, and continue to shine brightly as a beacon of hope in a world that needs His light. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel.